And we're live! Welcome everybody back to another day of Cooking with Carl. Today, I might have bitten off a little bit more than I could chew. I don't know how this is all gonna fit up, and I probably am gonna be on my feet a little bit longer than I would like today. But we are making fish and chips and chocolate chip cookies. And since the first batch goes to my dad, who is gluten free, both the chocolate chip cookies and the fish and chips will need to be gluten free. Not too worried about making the batter gluten free because that's pretty easy. You just substitute pretty much 1-to-1 since it's not really baking; it's frying. You can just substitute the flour out. The chocolate chip cookies, however. Hey, Julie, welcome in, and thank you for following me on Hover. I followed you back. How are you doing? Like I said, we're making fish and chips and chocolate chip cookies. But yes, we're making a completely different recipe for the chocolate chip cookies the first time around because that's actual baking, and gluten-free baking typically takes a bunch of different steps. You can't just substitute all-purpose flour with gluten-free flour and use it to bake cookies. So that's why we're switching it up a bit. Hopefully, I've gotten everything. Where'd my rubber scraper go? I always forget. It's always forget something. Yeah, this recipe was so long. Usually, I give myself an hour beforehand to get ready, right? And I did that this time. I gave myself a whole hour to do a dry run of like, okay, first I'll do this and then I'll do this. Because I don't want to waste the food. I don't want to make it a whole time beforehand. So I've never made this recipe before. But yeah, I'll be like, okay, I can do this. So randomly came across my hover. I hope I got a golden mess. Yeah, that's my. It's funny because it's so short and so silly, but it's by far um, my best performing hover. Like I posted that weeks ago, and I post on hover every day, but that one I still get people liking it. It's crazy. But yes, so yeah, we're gonna get started. What we're gonna do first, we're gonna get the marinade going on the cod. So we're gonna make the marinade. We're gonna put the fish in the marinade, throw it in the fridge, and then we're going to make the cookies, throw them in the oven. Then we're gonna make up the chips, French fries, and the fish, and then hopefully when that's good, the cookies will be out of the oven and then will be golden. So that's the plan. Will that timing line up? I don't know, but only one way to find out. So, of course, the big camera for the food. First things first, we're going to make the marinade. Now, interestingly enough, I have a recipe. Supposedly, I had a friend, Fry Lord Gaming. She and I did a collab last Thursday. She recommended that I look up Disney World's fish and chips. It says Epcot of United Kingdom. So I have no idea if this is what she was like referring to, but we're doing that. But it's made for 3 pounds of whitefish. But I have 1 pound of whitefish. The catch being, I'm doing half a so I'm doing a third recipe, but I'm doing two batches. So I'm doing half of a third of a recipe, which means that I need to calculate a sixth of all the ingredients. So we shall see. In any case, um, lemon juice mixed up with Worcestershire sauce. Um, so it calls for a cup of lemon juice, but we have to do a sixth. Is my head still? Okay. Camera angles are always weird. Okay, so we need to do a sixth of a cup of lemon juice. So I don't have a sixth of the cup. I don't think I've ever seen in all my days of cooking a sixth of a cup. But yeah, let's see. So a sixth of a cup of lemon juice. We'll put that in there in this little tray. And then we'll do some salt, which the salt is a quarter teaspoon of salt. So we need a 24th of a teaspoon of salt. This is crazy. Um, all right, a 24th of a teaspoon of salt. I'm not even gonna measure that out. What? All right, and we're gonna need a white pepper. Oh shoot, not black pepper. That's the one thing. I know we have oh shoot, did I just bump the camera? White pepper. I just tried to use this plate that's here as a trackpad. Do we have we've got to have white pepper here. Cream of tartar, lemon pepper, garlic powder. I always forget something. Mustard, dill, thyme, celery, oregano, more celery, black pepper, garlic, crushed red pepper. Where's the white pepper? Chili pepper powder. I got black pepper and I got red pepper. Do I not have white pepper? Onion powder? Teasing me. Do we have white pepper? Probably not. Swing and a miss. All right, well let's do just regular black pepper. That'll be fine. Swing and a miss. I was unsure. I was at the store yesterday, and for some reason I thought yes. Guess I'm insane, which is par for the course. Whatever. So I'll get this pepper grinder here. Oh, just bump my camera stand. My camera stand is literally just um my phone sitting on a wooden board with a hole in it where the camera's poking through, shoved into the spice cabinet. I mean, you can see it right here, right here. There it is. So if you ever want to stream, folks, and you're like, I don't know if I have the equipment, you've got a phone. Your phone has a mic on it. I mean, you can always start out like that. I use a Droid Cam. It's an app that kind of connects your phone to your laptop over Wi-Fi and makes it so you can use your phone as a camera. Which honestly, I've been thinking about doing it and setting up like my like getting something like 3D printing something so I can hang my phone on my laptop and do that because man, it's yeah, it's my phone camera is much nicer. Maybe I could plug it in through USB. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So, what else do we need? We need salt, pepper, vegetable seasoning. I also don't know what vegetable seasoning is. Like, so I got this packet of garlic herb blend. That should be it. That should like substitute. So we're off to a great start. Don't have any white pepper. Don't have any uh vegetable seasoning. So we'll just throw that in. Half of that. And then Worcestershire sauce. And for the Worcestershire sauce, here it is. We need a tablespoon. So we need a sixth of a tablespoon, which is a half a teaspoon. I want to say because three teaspoons and a tablespoon. So half a teaspoon I can do. That feels like so little. Like is that gonna cover up? Is that gonna cover the stuff? I don't know. It says to throw it in the fridge for an hour, turning every so often. And it's like, this is it's not thick or anything. Oh well. Okay, but yeah, we got to cut the fillets. That didn't work. So we're using cod. It says you can use haddock or grouper or whatever. I wonder how these taste with salmon because I'm a fan of salmon. Oh, that's not good. Can you give me a paper towel? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Should I just make a whole thing of marinade and then just throw everything in there and let it marinate? I might just do that. I might just do that. Okay, this is some. All right, so make little pieces here. I'm used to like this whole thing made into one thing. But yeah. So I'll just throw this in here and that. Yeah, I know usually for those of you who are not familiar, who have not come before, I usually make um I'll do the recipe completely, over twice. And the reason I do that is I want this to be a stream where you can follow along and cook along with me. I don't know how many people, if any, do that, but that's beside the point. So what I do is I try to make the whole recipe twice. So I might be cheating a little bit in doing this marinade twice. Um, Forgive me. So I'll be just throwing all of my pieces in there, and then we'll be taking half out. That'll be fine. That should be fine. Come on. This thing is like pre-perforated, and yet I can't get it open. Are you kidding me? Yeah, so, you know. Let's get this out. Don't want all the fish juice to follow it. That. Oh, fishy. I am not a fan of fishy smell. Yuck. Why am I even washing my hands? I'm just about to touch these fish again. Yeah, this is what I said. I wasn't able, this recipe has so many parts and is so long, and I have, doing two different kinds. I wasn't able to do an entire, like, dry run of each thing. So, yeah. Excuse me. So we're just kind of shoving all this fish in there. Gross. Because they wanted to marinate for a full hour, which I don't know if we got. You might have to pull it out. Touch the fish, then touch my face. Britt G, what are you doing? Trying to get me food poisoning? All right, like what my mom always used to say, don't treat raw meat and fish included like it's poison, right? Because raw meat is a breeding ground for bacteria. Plus, I don't want my face to smell like fish. You kidding me? Come on, Britt. Yeah, because that food. Thank you for reminding me because I always say this when I'm working with food or raw meat. Especially with your face, your eyes, through your tear ducts, and your nose and your mouth, they are prime ways for bacteria and other pathogens to get into your body, right? So you don't want to be touching anything that could be potentially contaminated. And also, you shouldn't be touching your face in general when you're cooking, especially when you're cooking for other people, because there's a lot of bacteria that like hangs out in your nose and your mouth and your eyes that you don't want to contaminate the food with. You could potentially give someone food poisoning if you're doing that. But anyway, Britt, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Are you a fan of? Are you an actual Brit? A British? Yeah, maybe. All right, we're just putting all the marinade in here all at once. Are you a fan of fish and chips? If you are a Brit, I mean, I assume you are. I assume you would be. All right, we're doing a little bit different here. I was planning on doing two batches, but I'm just gonna let them marinate the whole time because we're doing one gluten free and one not. So a little bit weird here. That's why it's kind of messed up, but that's fine. That's why we do these things live. You know, that's the fun part of doing them live. Anyway, so we'll do this. So this is all, you know, notice how I'm careful not to, well, never mind. I just put this down on a contaminated cutting board, and now I'm touching the bottom with my right hand. So now my right hand's all gross. So I'm going to take all these fishy stuff, and we're going to pick her up, and we're just going to put it right there. Not British, that's just your name? Well, crud. Hey, it was a long shot. I had to ask, right? I'm making fish and chips, and someone named Brit comes in. You know, you gotta hope, right? You gotta hope. Fortunately, my kitchen is not really conducive. I don't have a bunch of cameras to switch over there. Okay, so next up on the list, that is put to the side. So that's gonna chill. I know. British. Actually, I'm pretty sure Brit has 0 T's, right? The way they say it. In any case, so we've got, let's see. So we're making gluten-free chocolate chip cookies. That's going to be marinating in there. We're going to make the cookies, and then we're going to fry up the chips and the fish. All right, so step 1, whisk flour, baking soda, xanthan gum. The accent made me cringe. Do it again. There we go. Hey, if I can't entertain you positively, at least I can entertain you negatively. In any case, so I've got my father's gluten-free book here, gluten-free cookbook here. All right, so flour blend. He has a specific flour blend he wanted me to use. So we're doing a half batch of this. We were doing a third batch of the other one. Now we're doing a half batch of this. Go figure. We've got, okay, flour blend. Oh, shoot. Covered up there. There it is. 1 3/4 cups. That's very specific. So let's see. That'll be 1 1/4. No. That's a 8/8, 16/8. Why am I not mathing? That's 1/2 a cup plus 3/8 of a cup. Easy. Anyway, 1/2 a cup, and then 3/8 a cup, and that'll do it. It's just simple math. I guess it's too early in the day. All right, we got 1/2 a cup, and then 3/8, which is 1 1/2 quarter cups. So there's a quarter. And then there's a 1/2 a quarter, because I do not have an 1/8 of a cup on me. In fact, this is my only set of measuring cups, so, you know, we might have to take a quick break to wash them out every once in a while. All right. Flour blend, baking soda. We're doing a 1/2 of that. That's a 1/2 a teaspoon of baking soda. Come on. Ooh, do I just want to rip it open? Ugh. Feel bad ripping open a spigot like that. Half a teaspoon. Gotta rinse this off. All right. Holy crow. That was crazy. Gotta love it when it all pours in. Hopefully, it's probably gonna have a little bit more baking soda than I need. I'm hoping that wasn't too much. It wasn't too much of an overflow. 3/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. Apparently, this is like made in a lab, like it's 0% natural. Who knows, man? All right, so we need 3/8 of a teaspoon, which I do actually have. What am I making? Right now, gluten-free chocolate chip cookies. My father is gluten-free, so I'm making a half batch of chocolate chip cookies. As it says, I believe it says in my title, unless I was an idiot and I didn't hit the update button, which is very, very possible. In which case, if I didn't do that, you'll all be watching me supposedly play Stardew Valley, but I'm not. All right. 1. And then fish and chips was the start, but while we're waiting for that to marinate, we're making some chocolate chip cookies. Usually do a couple recipes per stream. I do this every week. Sometimes it's recipes that I've done many times before. In the case of this one, I've never made fish and chips before. I've never made gluten-free cookies before. I've made normal gluten-y chocolate chip cookies before. So we'll see how this shakes out. Okay. Xanthan gum and salt. Half a teaspoon of salt, so 1/4 teaspoon salt. Are you a baking aficionado? And I guess I have to ask, Brit, if it's not short for British, then what is it short for? I presume like Brittany, but or some other Brit name. You don't have to answer that, of course. Not someone to fish for personal information. All right, so we'll mix all this crud up. I love it. Self-misogyny. Brittany standard bimbo name. Okay. Basic. I was going to say, if it's self-misogyny, I guess, you know. Anyway. Next up we have, so that's all. Okay. Whisk the melted butter, brown sugar, and ground. You know what we're going to do? We use the big bowl. I could go grab another big bowl. Let's just throw this into a small bowl. There we go. And then, here's the catch. It calls for an egg, but we're going to need a half an egg. So we're going to have to whisk. We're going to whisk up half an egg, or a whole egg, and then take half of it. So there we go. Melted butter, brown sugar. That's another thing. Let's get that self-misogyny. I'm a woke lad. Sure. Because yeah, the reason I was mentioning that because Automod was like grabbed the word bimbo and said, you know, term blocked, reason misogyny. Well, it's like okay, you can't really if it's self-deprecating, I guess. And I try to be woke, yes. In any case, woo. So we'll put that in there for 30 seconds. We got to melt that butter. So we'll take a bowl. I was gonna say, yeah, because Ho did not get caught, but that did. Actually, throw an E on there. It'll probably get flagged because, like I said, I play Stardew Valley, right? And like in that game, one of the main tools that your character gets, and therefore one of the main things that your character uses a lot. Oh, it didn't. I think I might have added it because it kept flagging it. Another funny thing was in Animal Crossing there are pansies as flowers, and if people would say, "Oh, do you have like a red pansy?" Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I assume it's algorithmic or something. I might have just went in and manually put in the word hoe as an accepted term because I was sick and tired of doing that. I don't know. I am not the head of Twitch. Kind of wish I was sometimes because then I'd be able to make some sense of this weird landscape. Okay, that's whisked all up. So, butter, brown. So we're gonna put half of this in. There we go. I'm gonna figure out what the heck I need to do this. You know, it's like one time I made, oh, what was it? I made for Mother's Day hollandaise sauce for eggs Benedict. Used a bunch of egg yolks. Did not use the whites because you just can't. Like you need to use the egg yolks. It's a very finicky recipe. But yeah. So then the next week I used all the egg yolks or the egg whites rather, um, for coconut macaroons. That was fun. That was good. Although I found out if you whip up the meringue and let it sit and settle and separate out, you can't whip it up again. So I had to make two. A tablespoon of milk. That's still in the fridge. So, Britt, excuse me, do you frequent cooking streams often? Encouraging poor streamers to give themselves food poisoning. Come on. There we go. All right, 1 tablespoon of milk. There we go. You're high and lost. Don't have an agenda. Well, you know what? Whatever mental state you're in, I hope you leave it in a more positive one than you came in. Nice chill stream. Always fun to have someone to chat with while I'm cooking. I think Julie's still sitting there in the background. As well. Appreciate it. Unfortunately, I'll probably give you the double munchies then. I've gotten that before. They're like, sorry, Carl, you're making me too hungry. I have to leave and go eat. God dang it. Okay. It's warm, but it's not hot. One mistake you can make. Hey, Julie. I just flicked melted butter onto my computer screen. Oh my god. But let's not keep that in the microwave. But yeah, yeah, they'll leave. They'll be, Carl, I'm sorry. Awesome stream, but I'm too hungry. My phone's pinging, but I can't check it because I'm using it as my camera. Okay. All right, and then the egg yolk. No, I already put the egg yolk in there. I already put that's the other half. Oh my goodness, that was almost catastrophic. All right. All right, and then vanilla, melted butter, brown sugar, and granulated sugar. Oh shoot! I didn't put the egg. I put the egg in, and the milk, and you're not supposed to. Ah. Oh well. That shouldn't. My gluten-free cookies are unlikely to stir your appetite. Well, once we start getting into the gluten-y cookies, well, maybe. Because I'm not gluten-free, so I'm making. If you're a fan of butterscotch, it's going to be game over. I'm making mine butterscotch. All right. Melted butter, melted sugar, and brown sugar. We got 3/4 cup pack, so 3/8 cup packed, which is almost, see, 3/8 is almost 4/8, which is a half a cup. So if we fill up, well, yeah, that makes sense. 3/4 of a cup, half of that is 3/4 of a half a cup. Ooh, this is hydrated. Ugh. So we're packing all this crud in. This is not pourable. By a scale, it's time. Maybe. I mean, the other problem is just space. Sorry about that. Usually I put my mic up, but I'm covered in sugar, so I don't sneeze right into the mic. I apologize. Instead, I managed to punch it, which is even worse. Hopefully, I didn't sneeze too far in the direction of the food. All right, there we go. I have a scale. It's right there. There we go. And then the regular sugar is 1/3 of a cup. Lovely. So 1/6 of a cup of regular granulated sugar. All right, trivia question for y'all. In America, at least, what crop is the biggest source of sugar? What crop? My dad's saying he knows in the background. I'm going to ask him to. By far. I'll let y'all simmer on that. There we go. Corn? No, I mean granulated sugar. That's a good point. Corn is a very I think of sweeteners, but I mean well, this is actually not, but like granulated sugar that you buy for cooking. But yes, you are right in that I believe corn is the highest sweetener. If you want to define high fructose corn syrup as sugar, then yes. Very nice. Until smooth. Oh, we got a chunk in here. Because yeah, there's a lot of corn that is grown. Most of the corn that's grown in America is not for consumption. Granulated sugar is just sugar cane. Yes, but in America, sugar beets are the most common crop used for just making granulated sugar. Cane used to be very popular, but the problem with sugar cane is that it can only be it's a tropical plant. You know, it can't be grown in a lot of more temperate climates, such as like Michigan, where I'm from. But yeah, sugar beets, interestingly. So yes, there you go. Learn something new every day. But yes, color me impressed though. You gave some very good answers. Most people just go, I don't know. I spent 4 years in the Future Farmers of America, and I actually majored in agriculture education for a bit until I switched it to Japanese education because I'm a weeb. Stir in egg, milk, and vanilla. Okay, so I did the egg and the milk because I'm a bad boy. Whisk egg, milk, and vanilla. Okay, so the vanilla is the only part left. There's chunks in here. I don't want chunks. No, I assume the vanilla is not going to do anything to get rid of the chunks. Might start getting a runny nose here. That's not good. Not good for cooking. Ooh, smell that vanilla. I mean, granted, vanilla is like preserved in like alcohol, so it tastes awful. But, just straight up. So, speaking from experience, don't just try pure vanilla. I know it smells awesome. You'll regret it. You'll come to regret it. Gotta go. Hey, Shaolin Highland. Are we at the cookies or the fish? This is not fish batter. This is gluten-free cookie dough, or at least most of the liquids. Hey, and bye, Julie. Thank you, thank you. And if you like my hover, feel free to follow me on TikTok if you got it. Making dinner. I mean, yeah, I'll be on for the next 2.5 hours at least, I think. That's my estimate. All right, we're making the cookies. What temperature do we need to make this at? 350? Makes sense. Bake, 350. That's the most common one. But yes, Shy, how are you doing? On this fine Sunday afternoon. Or, I guess it's Sunday morning for you, technically. Alright, I believe that's about as whipped as we're going to get. So then, stir in flour mixture with rubber spatula. Okay. We'll dip that off. Put that over there. We have our rubber scraper. Ta-da! So you want to pour some of that in and slowly mix it in. I don't think you really don't want to pour it all in at once. Kind of sticks to one part and like it's really hard to mix in. So you want to pour a little bit, mix it all in. Pour some more in. Mix it all in, and it'll start to become more doughier and doughier. The problem is if you throw it all in, there'll be like a rock hard part sitting in the liquid, and no. It just is not cool. After this, I might take the fish out and mix them around a bit, so that the bottom gets out of the marinade and the top gets marinated. There we go. Mix that in. Stinks chat's over here, but food's over here. So if you see me looking back and forth, that's why. So this should be getting to a nice doughy consistency. Mix that in. It might be a little thinner. The recipe, I will say, the recipe does call for letting it sit for a half an hour. I will not be doing that in the interest of time. That'll just mean it's a little thinned out. Gluten-free flour is a little finicky, I guess. So it needs some more time to set. So what's with the pumpkin fixation? Well, it all started in 7th grade, Britt. In all seriousness, though, I had a lot of orange shirts, and I wore orange all the time. And then, so people started associating me with the color, and then the Pumpkin Man nickname just kind of followed suit. And there we go. Dough will be sticky and soft. Okay. Okay, I'll trust you here. So that's where the pumpkin thing came. And you know what? It's the brand. It's a good brand as any, right? I might have to blow my nose. With all due respect, Not a fan of the use of that word, not in its medical sense. But I will be back to blow my nose because there's something stuck in there. Say, remember, I'm a woke lad. Okay, so it says dough should be sticky and soft, so I guess that's supposed to be. Now we'll fold in the semi-sweet. Now usually the best recipe to go by for chocolate chip cookies is like Nestle, Toll House, semi-sweet morsels, back of the recipe, bada bing, bada boom, right there. So we'll just put half of these in there, fold them in. I don't know what the true difference. I mean, folding is like when you pick up the bottom and kind of put it over. It's my theme. Indeed. I was gonna say Carl Pumpkin Man. It's as good a theme as any, you know. It's always funny seeing people like, asking, okay, how did you get um your username or whatever, your handle, however you want, your gamer tag, whatever you want to call it. And I remember one person. There's a pro Super Smash Bros. Player called Hungrybox, and someone asked that and responded with, "When I was young, I was hungry and I chewed on a cardboard box." And I was like, "Wow." you know, it's a legit thing as any. Oh, I have very limited space in this kitchen. It's always fun, like trying to make sure to conserve as much space as possible. Okay, hopefully I didn't spill butter into the main circuitry of my computer. That would be no bueno. Why is there like a spray of like liquid? Where'd that come from? Anyway. So like I said, it's supposed to sit for half an hour. I'm not gonna have the patience for that. I guess I could let it sit. No, screw that. I could let it sit while I'm doing everything else, but I wanna keep things going through, you know. Come on. Well, that was a disaster. And there we go. So we'll just kind of put little dollops of the cookie dough on there. This is some chocolate chippy cookies. There we go. So I wonder how this tastes. Tastes good. We'll see how it bakes. Okay, let's move the rolling cart here. Center rack. Oh no. It's too long. Drop in and say hi to finish this book and have a review. Oh, well, best of luck, Shy. Hi. Hi to you too. I'll be right back. I gotta grab myself a thing. There we go. So yeah, it's just too long. Gotta turn it sideways. And we're supposed to cook that. So yeah, again, show the pictures later. Oh, I will. If you follow my Instagram, if you got it as well, I'll be putting it on there too. Yeah, these cookies, I don't know. I'll definitely get pictures of the gluten ones that I make. Gluten-y. Okay. $11 to 13 minutes. Okay, that's the golden rule. Timer. 11 minutes. Start. I hate the timer on this. It doesn't count down seconds, even when you have less than an hour of bake time, until it's down to 1 minute. So you hit the go button, and then nothing changes. And then you're just like, are you going? Okay. So we can put that over to the side for now. I'll just real quick mix up all the fish and whatnot. Okay. Now on to the fun part, the fish and chips. So we're gonna do the chips first, just to let that marinate as much as possible. Okay. So we're how do I want to do this? I'm gonna grab another cutting board. We'll be right back. Always with the be right back. Ah, I'm starting to have mild regrets. I could have left the um, cookies to sit for half an hour, I think, given how long this is going to take. But who knows? And granted that cookies don't generally bake for that long. So you know how cookies, you bake them, you don't cook them. But yes, okay, so let's knife. There'd my knife go. So we're gonna attempt to make kind of steak fries. I've never usually when I make French fries, my aim is to make them as skinny as possible so that the inside so I can cook them quickly and have a nice crisp outside, but still like the inside gets fully cooked and kind of mashed potato-y. So we're gonna. So usually I use a tool for this. Well, let's cut this lengthwise because we're gonna try to do steak fries because that's usually like the traditional fish and chips method, you know, to get like thick cut steak fries. This is probably gonna come out way crappy, but that's fine. Holy cow. This is hard to. I'm gonna need a more serrated knife, folks. I apologize. Be right back again. Woo. There we go. That's much better. Look at how crappy that cut is. It's just like, whoop. So you want to cut them all lengthwise. Almost like, whoop. Now, I slipped. Every fish and chip shop you went to in London sold soggy chips. Their food is crap. The bar's set low. You got this. Thank you. Thank you. So you've been to the UK. Nice. Um, but yeah, so the idea is if they come out fresh, they should be crisp and not soggy. But yeah, one important thing. Did you see? Everybody saw that my knife slipped, right? But I did not cut myself, and the reason being, I was holding it like this. So the knife, my knuckles curled under, so the knife is always below and down my knuckles, so I can't slice myself with how I'm doing this, right? Because if you hold it like this, where your fingers are curled under, if you slip, you'll go right into your freaking right into your hand. So you want to hold it in such a way that the knife is above you. Oh shoot! So we're making nice big steak fries, and you never want your hand to curl under. Those are kind of skinny. I don't want that. Nope, nope, nope. So what brought you to London? If you said you weren't British, I'm assuming you're traveling there. You're not even lying to me this whole time. That's fine. But yeah, Britt, what brought you to London? Study abroad, family over there, vacation, anything like that? Well, I'm breaking my own rules. There we go. Be very careful. Father worked internationally when you were young, so you traveled out. Oh, okay. Where all did you go? What places, if you don't mind me asking? Because like I mentioned before, I'm currently, I majored in Japanese, and I was supposed to study abroad over in Japan, but COVID saw that I'd get smacked down for that. So right now I'm trying. I have applied, have interviewed for, and I'm waiting a response to help teach um, English in Japan. And given that the program only requires fluent English, knowledge, and it doesn't even require teaching experience or Japanese experience, and I have both, I'm a pretty qualified candidate. From what I understand, I have a pretty good chance of getting it, but I gotta wait for like early. A lot. You're not gonna list every country? What? I've been to the United States and Canada. I listed every single one. I don't know what you're. You mostly worked in various countries in Asia, so you haven't traveled Europe as extensively. Oh, okay. I don't know what it is. Oil are so hard to. Oil's so hard. Caps are so hard to open. Sometimes. Maybe I'm just a wimp, but. So I like to use a shallow pan. I like to it makes it so I can fit um more stuff in my pan. Like when you use a really high walled deep thing, the high walls help to prevent splash out. So that is a good drawback. But if you put too much oil in there, it's like way too you can't put as much stuff in there and fry it as at once. And it's easier for me to keep an eye on stuff. I don't know if that makes any sense. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I like to use a wide pan for that. Ooh, those cookies look all right. Not great, but they're good. Yeah, like I said, my fingers crossed, hoping I'm going to Japan for a nice full-time job, and it's nice because, of course, with the pandemic, right? I graduated last spring, in the the depths, in the dead of winter, in the depths of the pandemic. So it's like all of a sudden you're um kind of you're on your own. You graduated, and I'm like, now what? I couldn't talk to any professors like in person before class or whatever. So yeah, it's this very surreal thing of like, dang. So I applied to this program because if you get it, they fly you out there, and they find you a place to stay because you just replaced someone else. And yeah, so that's cool. So what I do is I throw a little piece of um, potato in there. When that starts boiling and frying, I'll know that the potatoes are good to fry. Um, but yeah. And then I'll fry that, and then I can make the batter. Probably should have made the batter first, truth be told. Um, and then and then just fried both of it and fried the chips, and then the fish. But we'll see. All right, that's way soft. Those are falling apart. So we'll timer on. We'll put 3 more minutes. We'll keep an eye on it. So, Britt, does that mean can you speak any languages? Obviously, you can do English, but did you pick up any languages on the way, or was it too whirlwind for you to be able to? Like I said, myself, I've got English course, and then a decent amount of Japanese. I like to say a survivable amount of Japanese. Like if you catapulted me into Japan right now, I could probably navigate my way with much difficulty. All right, so that's starting to float. That's a good sign. That means that the water inside is starting to boil. And moved every year. You never really applied yourself enough to learn a second language. Well, that's the other thing too. It's right because I went to school for Japanese and also Japanese education, and you learn about like what before the age of 5. There's this like window where your brain is just like very um very good and very, very open to learning languages. And yeah, I wish, I kind of wish my parents had just shoved languages into my head at that age, because I guess I don't know how they would have, because they're both native English speakers and that's it. But yeah, I kind of wish, it's like, dang, if and when I have kids, should I just like shove as many languages? Because if you're bilingual, especially in America, like you're pretty set, in terms of you can get a job with any business that does business with countries that speak primarily the language you are bilingual, in. So it's like, yeah, get a degree in Japanese. Any company that does business in an English speaking country in Japan. Because I mean, yeah, Japan's really the only country where they speak Japanese majorly. I want to say maybe portions of Taiwan, like Taiwan has a portion, but primarily it's just Japan. All right, those are starting to get springy. 30 seconds left on the clock. Let's let that count down. And then we will fry her up, or we'll wait until fry her up. We'll pull the stuff out, the cookies out. Turns out the cookies are done. Picking up on Kannada. Where's that spoken? I've never heard of that. We were happy we were a kid, but it's all gone now. Not exactly a marketable language to know, anyways. I was like, they don't speak that in Canada. Kannada. Okay. So, Southern Indian. Okay, yeah. Because they know I had a few coworkers that were from India, and they were telling me that, yeah, in India, like it's not just Hindi. There's like different languages. There's a bunch of completely different, maybe based off of similar things, but like as different as say French and Spanish or something like that. Of course, like crossover Japanese, you have like um, pictographic crossover with Chinese, because all the kanji, the actual complicated ones, are, oh shoot, no, splash, originate from China. So that means if you go to China and you can read Japanese, you probably can get a general good idea of the concept of what is being written about, at the very least. But you can't speak it at all. Because yeah, the Chinese Mandarin characters, at least. See, I might be speaking outside of my expertise here, but yeah, various Chinese characters kind of came with Buddhism, I think, to Japan. Um, and so Japanese has three alphabets, two of which are syllable based, and one of which is pictographically based, which is kanji, which is the hard one. And that's the one that makes all the people want to cry. There we go. One thing to help prevent, I believe, chips from getting soggy is to put a piece of paper towel. Hey, Lauren, welcome in, welcome in. We're making steak fries, I think. The cooking is going well. I'm having mild regrets. We make it gluten free. Well, they're cooling. I'm not gonna pick them up right now. But gluten free chocolate chip cookies. It did say to let them sit for half an hour. I thought I didn't have time, but now that I'm thinking about it, I probably absolutely could have just let them sit for half an hour, and then while I was cooking the fries, the chips, if you will. The other thing that I'm thinking about when I go for round two, I'm probably going to prepare the batter first, and then fry up the chips, and then fry up the fish. So yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna change here. But the first round we're doing gluten free. So if you have any gluten free champs in the chat, that's great. Britt here has also up there has no, it's hard. I can't do up. Wow, I gotta go way up if I want to point to chat. Was saying that gluten free cookies would not be appetizing to them at all. So well, but yeah, my dad's gluten free, so I'm doing it for him. We're gonna do these, do the fish, and then yeah, we'll be doing a second round. So if you happen to purchase some cod grouper or what was the other one? Sounds like I'm learning a lot. I mean, that's kind of the point sometimes. Sometimes I like to cook a recipe that I know a lot about, like the first time I ever did that. I cooked a recipe I've done many times before just so I could talk about it. But part of this is, yeah, I will relay my mistakes to everybody else so that should they want to follow along, maybe maybe learn from my mistakes here. So we were talking about travel before you hopped in, Lauren. Have you ever traveled or lived to another country? And either way, have you picked up or learned another foreign language? I've only been to Canada in the US. But I am learning Japanese and I do hope to get there. I mean, I've told you before my plans of trying to get myself a job in Japan. Get myself nice and get that nice and golden brown. Let's see, what's the batter gonna involve? Mostly Europe and the Caribbean. Is that for? I mean, I know I've seen on your stream that you travel for work. Was that for work, for vacation? Yes, no, either, nor. While those are frying, so I'm making. I have a third of the fish that this calls for, but I'm making a half a batch. So we're making six batches. So cornstarch. Here it is. Only in the U.S. for work. Okay. So 3/4 cup cornstarch. All your overseas was for fun. Nice. Yeah, I've only been to Canada. I've only been to Canada. Um, yeah, which means that I need 3/24 of a cup, which is an eighth, which is actually not terrible. An eighth, because a sixth of 3/4 is 3/24. Yeah, so then and then 3/24 equals 1/8. Which is a half of a quarter of a cup. Japan's a smart move. I'm a single dude. Your brother works there and you treat his average looking 5'10" like George Clooney. Oh well, that is not my intent. Australia, New Zealand, and Spain are on your travel list. Oh, you got a travel list, girl? I wish. See, I'm wondering if at steakhouses do they bake steak fries or do they fry them? Yeah, because the thing about Japan, and now I'm approaching this conversation from a strictly sociological demographic standpoint. I don't want to be exoticizing anyone, but from what I understand, Japan is extremely homogenous in their culture. So, um, it's very strange to see a foreigner, um, in Japan. So a lot of times you stick out like a sore thumb, for better or for worse. From what I understand, that I've talked to like my Japanese professors, my sensei. All right, mix cornstarch, 2 2/3 cup flour. God, 2 2/3 cup is 7/3 of a cup. 7/3 cup, third cups. I'm thinking this is good. Let's pull this skinny boy out. Ooh, good. Good. That's good stuff. That's really crunchy. There we go. Those are looking good. Looking cool, Joker. Yeah, hopefully they don't sit out and become too soggy. Woohoo! That's hot, of course. So, those. We'll set these off to the side for now. Well, here's one of the cookies. Gluten-free cookies. That looks good, right? All right. They're all right. All right. Can't scratch my face. I'm cooking. Yeah, they're pretty soft. Gooey, kind of gooey-ish. Oh, shoot. Dropped a crumb in the hot oil. Good. Okay. Okay, like I was saying, 2 2/3 cup. That's 8/3 of a cup of flour. I wanted 6 of that, which means that it's 8/18, which is 4/9, which is a half and a 9. No. Yeah, a half and a 9. So a little bit more than a half of flour. God. Like, holy cow. Yeah. Wish I was living in the UK. Okay. It's cornstarch, flour, and pepper. I might have to do a mini run over to my sink to wash out some of my measuring cups and stuff. I am making a mess. Hopefully, I'm keeping all this stuff away from my computer. A 1/6 a teaspoon of salt. Well, that's just a little bit. No, I have my salt right here. Right there. 2 egg yolks. No. Sugar. 3 teaspoons of sugar, which means a half teaspoon of sugar. Finally, a nice, easy. Well, it would be easy if I knew where the heck I put my measuring spoons. They're over there. Is that hot? There we go. Thank you, thank you. Half a teaspoon. So yeah, my dad just spirited away the cookies to a cooling rack. Half a teaspoon of sugar. Bum, 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 bum. And then the recipe calls for white pepper. I thought we had white pepper, so I didn't pick some up at the store. We have black pepper and red pepper, but no white pepper. So R.I.P. me. So yeah, we're just gonna grind some pepper in there. How are they? They're all right. Yeah. Baking powder. Yeah. Yep. I accidentally poured too hard with the baking powder. So we got good reviews, except it tastes a little like baking powder, which I have evidence that was an oops. So maybe these chips will be kind of soggy. I don't know. I mean, I usually drown them in vinegar anyway. Okay. Mixed all up. In a separate bowl, beat water, eggs, egg yolks, and beer with a whisk. Okay. So I will grab my whisk. I'm going to need a bigger bowl. Oh yeah, you think I should double fry them? I could happen. Why not? Can make sense. Yeah, the only thing that I'm not following a recipe for is just the fries, which I kind of like to do that a little bit and just experiment with it. Throw some potato piece in there, and we'll see if we double fry them. We'll see how it goes. If it comes out great, cool. If it doesn't, you know what? We learned something today. Hopefully you're not like giggling behind your computer and say, "Ha! I didn't manage to trick him to give himself food poisoning." But okay. Beat water, egg yolks, and beer. Where'd my water go? All right, so we're gonna need. So I'm gonna need to get one egg yolk, and then split it into. No. Oil temperature not overcooking the pan is how to get good chips. I'm not doing that, so even if I double fry, they'll probably be soggy. Super overcrowding, meh. Yeah, the thing is, I don't have an oil thermometer. That's kind of the other rough thing. Are you a cooking hobbyist aficionado, or you just happen to know chips in fries? I'll call them chips now, just out of respect. Um, okay, I'm gonna need some water. You dabble a little bit. So, sugar and pepper, that's all mixed in. Beat water. How do I get so distracted? How did I manage that? Water. Water. Wallet. Water. Okay. So, if I need a sixth, I need a third of an egg yolk. What? That's crazy. What am I doing with my life? All right, this is how I was always taught to separate the yolks. All right, you see this? Oh, can you hand me another bowl? Yeah, sure. Good enough. You crack it into your hand, and then you just let the albumin, the white, slip through. It's all gross and gooey. Slip through your fingers. There we go. And then, boop, separate. Then you rinse your hand off because it's gross. All right. So that's how you get the egg and yolk separated. Best way. Strainers are hard to do, whatever. So you just kind of put it in your fingers and then roll the yolk back, and then the albumin usually separates from it. Anyway, so Jesus. So I only need a third of this. It's ridiculous. Because 2 yolks, I need a sixth of it, which is a third of 1 yolk. 2/6, 1/3. Math. It's about 1 teaspoon. Ooh, you are aficionado. But yeah, since I literally have a whole egg yolk here, I can eyeball it, but I appreciate it. Right now, I'm gonna lose some just from sticking to the pan. Okay. It's about a teaspoon. Ridiculous. Okay. Then water. How much water? 1 3/4 cups water, which is 7/4 cup water, which is 7/24. Okay, that's getting ridiculous. So a third of a cup and a third and a quarter of a cup. No, I'm looking for a sixth, not a third. Frick, a third and a quarter. So, a sixth and an eighth of a cup of water. I am overcomplicating this, folks. Like, I prefer to be like, okay, I need 1/6 and 1/8 of a cup of water, and then I proceed to not have a sixth or an eighth of a cup. So I just kind of, yeah. There is sugar. There is sugar all over that. I don't want more sugar than I need. Sugar is water soluble. Unfortunately, this is not like a cooking show where everything's done beforehand, and I just kind of... just weigh it. I could do that. Well, then I need to get a bowl and a scale, and it doesn't have weights, and then I would need to complicate it. I would need to get the weights and the density of each. I could do that. I could. But I didn't think that far ahead, Britt. I'm sorry. Am I making you tear your hair out at home there? What the crap is this idiot doing? All right, that oil's probably more than hot enough. Too late now. The damage has been done. Woo! I dripped the water off my hand. Drop of water off my hand on there. Yeah, for some reason I just didn't register like beforehand that wait a minute, this is for 3 pounds of fish and I only have 1 pound. So usually I'm just having the recipe not too bad, but this time I'm like, I'm sixthing the recipe. I'm just afraid that I will completely misread something or screw up the math, something fierce, and then one thing will be like twice or 3 times as much as it should be. And beer, the 18th cup of beer. What is an 18th? That's not even. It's not even funny. A sixth of a third. I do not like beer. I do not like beer. This is the only. This is like the only alcohol I've ever. I don't drink at all. Yeah, I don't like beer at all. There we go. A sixth of a third. It just smells bad. That and like, you know, I didn't grow up in a household that drank for one, so I never got like used to the idea. And like, I'd always go to the freaking the neighbors would have a pig roast every year, and like everybody would just be drunk and like beer, and like people would be doing stupid stuff. There was just like one guy who was like borderline harassing me. He was like yelling at me. He's like, "Oh, Garrett," and I'm like, "Oh, I hate drunk people." And then I go to college, right, and I become an RA, and then now it's my job to kind of bust people for being drunk or like run into people. So like, there's the one hand of people being drunk and belligerent, and I'm like, oh, and they always smell like beer. And then the other thing of like people being drunk and taken advantage of, which I won't go into. Which again, yeah. So like, I was never raised in to like it in the first place, and I was never given a reason to like it later. So that's kind of where I'm at, you know. There, twice fried French fries. Yeah, so I just went to the store yesterday and bought the the cheapest quantity of beer I could, which is actually as Foster's like fat can. Which kind of, I mean, I don't know. I feel a little bit bad because I'm not going to use a lot. I'm going to use like just a tad, and then all of a sudden I'm going to be chucking most of it. But beer, slowly add dry ingredients. But yes, if you like beer, good for you. Not for me. Do I partake in the devil's lettuce? I do not. I do not. I am a drug-free guy. Never, never wanted to. Never had the urge. And I figure, I'm satisfied without it. So, what the heck? There is like, this was like not enough. How? How is it this running? Did I miss something? 1 3/4 cup water. Corn 3/4. Did I put like 1 3/4 cup water to 2 2/3 cup flour. Like that's gonna be pretty skewed in the and 3/4 cup cornstarch. That does not. That seems like a dough and not a batter. Am I missing? Yeah, look at that. I still need to add this to that. Something's wrong. Just add more beer. Honestly, more beer, more yolk, and more water. Use some common sense. Yeah, because like 3/4 cup cornstarch and uh 2 2/3 cup water or flour, watered down with 1 3/4 cup of water and 1/3 cup of beer. So there's a lot more dry stuff, a lot more. But yeah, I mean, because this is gonna make a lot more. I don't know, more water. Maybe I screwed something up. Maybe I didn't. I did some math wrong somewhere in there. That's always possible, but I will add more beer. Yeah, maybe next time I'll just half it and see if I mess, and do the math. Because I have the ingredients for it. I mean, I don't think the gluten-free flour is gonna go does this. I mean, generally it is, dude. I got the batter stuck in the whisk. Get out of there. Screw it. What the heck? Yeah, I'm using gluten-free flour. This is also gluten-free for my dad, so we'll see if it's like we'll be making it with gluten, like regular all-purpose wheat flour next. So that might, but like it shouldn't do it this much. It should not do it this much. You know? Yeah. Tooth. Yeah, whatever. More water and beer. Brit's happy. Yeah, like I said, the cheapest, at the grocery store, the cheapest quantity. Gluten-free flour needs more water. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm wondering because it's definitely thicker. We made orange chicken, and the gluten-free flour was actually pretty good. It might have also just because I used the same oil twice, the second time, but the gluten-free oil or gluten-free stuff was better. Like turned out better. Yeah, it's like gooing up. But yeah, you'd think it wouldn't be this. Like that was a hard packed dough when it's supposed to be a batter. But yeah, let's see how twice fried better. You want these? Oh no, fish is almost going in, but yeah, I do have in my Discord. in the description if you're on desktop, !Discord in the chat if you're on mobile. I do have a cooking channel. If anyone wants to suggest things for me to make, I would love to try new recipes. Of course, it has to be within reason. I'm not making like something like beef Wellington or anything on stream that takes forever. It's gotta be something that is reasonable for the time period. Because that's getting there. But yeah, I shouldn't be stirring like argh. You know, I should be able to be able to kind of whisk it. You know, it should be thin. Should be watered down enough. But yeah, this is like a lot. Like for a half a pound of fish? What in the heck? A little more beer, I guess, and then we'll probably be good. See, it's supposed to be flat beer as well. I popped it open last night, let it sit overnight, just room temperature. Thought that would do the trick, but I guess it did not. We can put that on that. So there we go. You can let that heat up. Bloop. Heat back up. Keep yanking this poor oil's chain, man. Heating it up. Okay, you're done. Nope, I want to heat you again. No, you're okay. You're done. Nope. Heat you up again. Just take this away. So we can put that out of the way, and then we'll make everything gluteny the way God intended. Can you hand me another paper towel? Yeah. Thank you. Yep. There we go. Taking this to go. Yep. I mean, they're going right in. Dip in batter, frying hot oil, 5 minutes. Okay. Nice and thick coating on there. Nice and bready. Oh, we'll see how that works out. It's spitting something fierce. Ugh. It's always the messiest part. Yeah, we'll see if the gluten-free messes it up or not. Hopefully I'm not going to cool the stuff down too much. The oil down. It's just a shame. Like, this is way too much batter. Yeah, potentially. If it's any good. Let's save it for... Fair enough. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. It's going to fry for 5 minutes. Or until golden brown. Mmm. I'm going to show it. Yeah, I was going to say. Got a nice little to-go container, tartar sauce. Yeah. So yeah, my biggest problem I think whenever I do deep frying stuff is that I can never get the batter to stick really well, like all of it to stick. Sometimes it sticks to the meat really well, but then like there's always little bits that like float on the bottom. When I was making orange chicken last time, that happened to me, and then when I went to do the second round, problem was that stuff on the bottom was like also frying and making bubbles, and it got really frothy and started overflowing, which is not good, Patrick. So after we do this, I'll give it to my dad. He'll be on his way. He'll eat it, and then we'll do a little be right back commercial break, all that fun stuff, and I'll kind of reset, clean up, and then we'll do round 2 with gluten flour. No gluten free anymore. We'll be making chocolate chip cookies. Well, butterscotch cookies actually, and we'll also be doing this again, but with gluten recipe. So yeah, stick around. Although it usually says golden brown, but I also never get it to be golden brown. It's always like almost getting there, but it's nice and white. It's like very airy. Not crispy. Got my pumpkin apron here to wipe my hands upon. God, I'm getting hungry. I'm going to have to do this all again before I can eat. Oh, I haven't had lunch yet. It's 1:45 p.m. where I'm at. Dang. I always manage to get a bunch of oil all over my tongs as well. They get slippery. Don't know how I manage that. Seeing how it's not like splashing or anything all over. Evaporating oil? Maybe? I don't know. Does oil evaporate like water? Or does it need to get boiling hot to be in the air? Who knows? Yeah. 1 or 2 more turns. Oily steam. Let your mind dissolve into the oil. All right, probably one more flip, and then they're probably be good. That's nice and crusty, crunchy, crusty. Mmm, crusty fish for the crusty crab. It's not a boulder, it's a rock. All right, I'm calling it there. We'll see. Fish and chips. We do have some malt vinegar, tartar sauce. I'll be having mine with the malt. But this will go with my dad on his trip. Play some pickleball. I think 1 or 2 of these is just breading. Sloughed off breading. Ta-da! Wow. Okay. So, this is the part of the program where I put on a commercial, put on my Be Right Back screen, and then clean out what needs to be cleaned out. Well, I tried. That's what matters. Very true, Britt. But yeah, I will be back in a couple minutes, but I'll kind of reset so I'm hopefully not running all over the place and I've cleaned out my stuff. So, now from a word from our quote-unquote sponsor, not actually our sponsor. I just type in 22-minute commercial, please. But I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So, yeah, take two. We marinated everything at the start, so I apologize if you want to see me make the marinade again. So that's all sitting in there, so that's fine. So now what we're going to do is make some chocolate chip cookies. I forgot to get rid of this. So, on top of all this grease crap here. Anyway, and we'll be using we use our gluten-free recipe there, but this time we'll be using like the classic like Nestle Toll House sweet and or semi-sweet chocolate morsels recipe right there on the back. So we're done with all this like 1/3 cup crap for now. We're just doing a half batch. And this time I'm sure the viewers will be glad to. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Brett. I didn't realize that you did that 5 minutes ago. Okay, during the break. Thank you. All-purpose flour. If you did it while I was cleaning up, my headset was off, so I couldn't see hear the notification. But yes, thank you. I do this every week. So flour. What does it want me to do? Combine flour, baking soda, and salt. Beat butter, granulated sugar, brown sugar extract until creamy. Add eggs, beating well. Beat in flour mixture. Stir in the morsels. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Okay. Flour. Small bowl. Flour. We want 1.1 cups of all-purpose flour. So we are doing a half batch. I'm going to go crazy. I'm doing double butterscotch, so I'm doing twice the amount of butterscotch. You know, I'm not like other guys. I'm a bit of a rebel. Cup and an eighth. One. Two. Combine flour, baking soda, a teaspoon, so a half a teaspoon of baking soda. Half, eighth, quarter, half. Okay, I'm not going to pour a whole cheese load of this in there like I did last time. Oh, oops. I keep looking at my screen like it's up there. No. And salt. Half a teaspoon of salt. There it is. Okay. All right, and then so now we got half teaspoon of salt. So we got to mix that. It says beat it. I do have a mixer. You spaced out what I'm making now. We've reset. We're making chocolate chip cookies, but butterscotch chip cookies and not gluten free. So basically, I make the same thing twice so that if anyone wants to follow along or misses anything, they can see. So, but this time we're making the gluten filled version of it just to give some variety, and because you know what, I can have gluten. I'm going to. I need a spoon, like just a regular spoon. And Britt, I also thanked you for following if you missed it. because I believe you hit the follow button while my headset was off while I was cleaning up. So I did. I missed it. And I apologize. All right. So that's the dries. Add, okay. In a large mixing bowl, beat butter. How much butter? A whole stick of butter. You don't expect you to grovel, but you appreciate it. No problem. I'm not kissing your feet, but I am appreciative. All right, so a whole stick of butter. That's what makes it good. Yeah. Put that in there for 30 seconds. Probably going to do a minute, but you don't want to put it in too much time. It starts exploding. So we'll start whisking that together. Butter, granulated sugar, and brown sugar. So the granulated sugar, 3/4 cup, so 3/8. That's a little less than a half. All right, I can go for another 30 seconds. It was cold going in. There we go. Lid. The lid, Patrick. The lid. Lid. Butter. Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. Fish turned out well. Air bubbles filled the batter while frying, making the fish light and crunchy. Well, thank you, Chi-Chi. That's my dad, by the way. Appreciate your feedback. I'm glad you liked it. Eat all this crud. Whip it. No, that's beat it. Wait, I'm confusing beat it and whip it. Devo, Michael Jackson. No, okay, I had beat it. I'm also whipping it. Whipping it is. Okay, yes, I sorted out in my head. I apologize. Correct that whip. All right. Brown sugar. How much we got here? The same deal. Same amount of brown sugar. 3/8. It's not solid. It's not rock hard, but it ain't. It's getting away from granulated. Scooping out this brown sugar. It's fighting. Brown sugar is really what it gives it a nice molassesy feel to it. Then you get the brown sugar all over your hand, and you're like, ugh. It's like I have this package of like donut batter or donut dough. I'm not sure if it's I think it's a dough. It's not a batter. Mix of orange donuts, but I want to eat them, but like going on stream would be a good excuse to, but at the same time, like that's not very interesting of like, oh, mix the dough and it takes forever because you need to let the dough rise. So it's just not a good thing to do on stream, unfortunately. Yeah, it says to beat it in a mixer, but kind of hard to show on camera, so I'm beating it, beating the batter. Vanilla extract. Put some of that in there. I like never measure out vanilla extract. I just put a squirt. Little squirt. Whip. You can retard the dough and fry it the morning on stream. Yeah, that's true, but it's like if it's a cooking stream, like I could, I guess I could. That's true. I could do I could do like a just a little side note, you know, do a bigger, maybe something that would take up a couple hours or like 1 hour by itself that wouldn't justify a whole stream to itself, maybe, or like 45 minutes to itself, and then just fry the dough and be like, oh, if you have donut dough, this is how you fry it. That could be a fair idea, but and then or maybe like do glaze, like make the glaze right there. Or make a whole thing where you can just make a whole bunch of different things. Maybe I make a custard and a glaze and like some jelly or something, and then put it and then like make different kinds of donuts. You know, jelly filled, custard filled, glazed, frosted. That could be a stream. All right, then we throw in an egg, a large eggs. Grab an egg real quick. Come here, egg. Whole egg. Don't need to separate. Yeah. Well, aren't you using that in a isn't that an actual like culinary term used that way? Or are you I mean if you're using it casually, but I thought that was like an actual culinary term in that context. Or am I completely off? Or am I just going crazy? And it's like the Mandela effect. Because if you're using it as an insult, yeah. Yeah. If you're not if you're using it as an insult, I'm gonna be like, okay, come on. Like, come on now. But yeah, I'm surprised Automod didn't catch it as like hate speech or such, because it's like that's what people use it as now. Right here. Okay. And then I mix. All right, so now this is all beaten. Switch to more heavy duty stuff. Because it's like, oh, I think it's right here actually. Yeah. It's like just this, you know, pre-made like powder. You mix it with what? Yeast and warm water, and then let it sit and let it rise, and then you just throw it in. Make it donuts out of it. But yeah, that might be fun if it was just a donut uh making glaze and crud. And then in the end I just fry them up and then make each one. Dang it, but because granted, I'm not the most artsy person in the world. So if I did do that, they probably wouldn't look awesome, but whatever. Plus, I would need to obtain some. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I have this mix sitting here, waiting, right? And it's like I want to make it, but like also I'm watching my weight, so they're just sitting here. And two, like if I made it from this on stream, it wouldn't like I'd be like, oh, you just mix in the thing and then you let it sit. Like that's not interesting. You know what I mean? So that's why I was wondering, okay, what if I mixed it up at the start of stream and then made a glaze, a frosting, some custard, and then made some donuts there, both some, whole donuts and some no hole donuts, and then but I would need to get some decorating stuff and like some the whatchamacallit, the juice squisher in there. It's getting harder and harder. Just stir this all up. Oh shoot. It's the rest of the dough. More of an arts and crafts project. Yeah, that's exactly. So I was wondering if I make the glaze from scratch, and if I make the custard from scratch, or maybe I'll make some maple frosting and make a maple bar or something. That might make it worth my while. And like, I'm not opposed to doing a more artsy one. I mean, the whole point of there's two main points of why I did cooking streams. One, it helps me get up because spare me your what excuses. Um, it helps me get up, because like I stream for Monday through Thursday, and all I do is sit like during those streams. Like that's all I do, sit. Of course, I'm playing video games, so it's nice to have a stream where I just stand up, walk around, actually do something instead of just sitting. And two, it helps like differentiate, if I get big, if and when I ever hit the big time, I don't want to be pigeonholed into doing one thing. So I kind of want to be like, oh yeah, I play a lot of Stardew Valley right now, but I also have this cooking stream, right? So that this is also stuff that you can um, come to appreciate me for. So I'm doing double. I'm doing butterscotch. I'm doing double butterscotch. This is a ridiculous amount, by the way. This is a stupid amount. Like this is like as much. This is going to be about as much butterscotch as dough, but that's okay because I love butterscotch. Yeah. It looked like a lot, but now that I'm mixing it in, it's just a lot. Not a lot, a lot. All right, let's get some parchment paper. Come on. Should probably set the oven at 350, shouldn't I? Watch that tick up. That's much better. There. This is not gluten-free there, Britt. Is that more appetizing for you? Oh! I don't know how y'all like butterscotch, but I love it. One thing that's like, it's called a goodie bars. You have like oatmeal. You put it in like a pan, like a sheet pan. You have like oatmeal and butterscotch and coconut and chocolate in there. It's good stuff. All right, I do not want to use 2 pans, so I'm just going to shove some extra. Some of these are going to be extra big, but that's fine. And once that goes in, we'll be A-okay to start working on fish and chips. Good. You gotta scrape the bowl. You have to scrape the bowl out. It's a requirement. There we go. So that goes away. And then, while we're working on that, what order should I do this? I'm wondering, should I do the same order I did last time, but I kind of want the chips to be out at the same time as the fish. So like I want to be able to So I'm going to cut the chips first. Now that the burners cooled off. Cuz I'm also making my sister wanted some. So I might only do half of this, Scott. I got some stuff left over. I'm probably not going to fry up all the fish right now. I'm only going to fry up mine because my sister wanted some. Fry the fries once, set it aside, then do the fish, then fry the fries a second time right before serving. Sounds good to me. So that was the conclusion I was getting to. I'll be right back. I got to get some plates. Double fried. Okay. Just the knife. Just kind of using my left hand to ball up the butterscotch cookies a little bit. They're probably going to spread out and stick to each other, but that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. Woo! There we go. Keep the fish in a warm oven while you finish out the fries. If you want everything to stay real hot. True, true. Turn the oven temperature down after I cook the cookies, maybe. Good idea, good idea. Come on. Use scissors on this stuff. Woo! There we go. Some of those, that's a little too thick for my taste. There we go. It's like I don't know how to use my hands. Well, I'm trying to avoid slicing my fingers open. I mean, I don't know if you caught it the first time. I slipped real big. Like I could do this. I could, but I don't want to slice my fingers open. But hey, it all got cut, and none of me got cut. So, because the potatoes are hard because they're hard. They're harder to cut through. Thank you. Okay, good. I was gonna say, please ignite. That would be wonderful. Ugh. Okay, and then that is at 350. Classic baking temperature. I have not harmed myself yet. There have been accidents, but I have not harmed myself yet in like a month or two of doing these streams. So 9 minutes. Okay. There we go. Wait for that to heat up. And then while we're waiting on that, we can get started on the fish and chip batter. Might as well. Okay. And again, we want to use a 1/6. Hold on, I gotta rinse some stuff off. Okay. All right, we're doing the sixths again, folks. I know we're not too big of a fan of the sixths. I'm not either. All right, 3/4 cup of cornstarch, which is a third. All right, because 3/4 goes into 3/24, which is 1/3. So that's nice. Cornstarch. There you are. Third a cup of cornstarch. That's easy. Hold it. There we go. Third a cup. And 2 2/3 of a cup. So a sixth of 2 cups is a third of a cup. Wait. That doesn't make any sense. Because a sixth of 2 and a sixth of 3/4 can't both be a third. Am I an idiot? 2. 2 divided by 6 equals. No, screw you. Is a third. Of course. 1/3. An eighth. An eighth. 3/4. A sixth of 3/4 is an eighth, not a third. Holy cow. 0.75 divided by 6. 0.125, an eighth. Oh my god. Oh. Good thing this was a clean bowl. I am frustrating everyone in the chat right now. Everyone's like, this guy sucks. Clean bowl. Oh. We'll start over. We'll start over. Oh my god, my brain. I'm so hungry, guys. I am sorry. So an eighth a cup of cornstarch. If I did that last time, well, that'll explain what went wrong. Now that that's in, we can probably put our potatoes in. There. Holy moly. Inner piece, Carl, and then a third a cup of flour. Plus, I'm making a mess everywhere. which is kind of like, you know, par for the course for these streams. Sugar, salt in there as well. 1/6 of the teaspoon of salt. That ain't worth measuring out. Sugar. 3 teaspoons of sugar. 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Oh. There we go. We'll put that there. And pepper. Again, don't have white pepper, unfortunately. Big oof. Thought we did. We have black pepper. We have red pepper. We don't have white pepper. Okay, these are still gooey. Three more minutes in there. A separate bowl. You know what? We'll just use the egg bowl. So you need a 1/6 of an egg. It's fine. The old a yolk bowl. And then water. We need 1/6 and 1/8 of water. One eighth, 1/6. And then just a 18th cup of beer. I don't even care anymore. There we go. More beer. It says to mix with whisk, but whatever. Turn these, make sure they're getting nice and crispy. I'm so hungry right now. Oh my goodness. How are my cookies looking? Looking good. Yeah, I think I screwed up with the proportions last time. For sure. I'm just giving up on the fact that there's flour everywhere. Okay, this is looking good. I think I screwed up one of the. Oh, I forgot. If you put something on the back of the oven, back of the stovetop, the heat from the oven kind of runs up the back and makes it really hot. That's still really doughy. We can put them in for 3 more, I think. right, that's finishing up there. That's fry number 1. Let me just grab the fish real quick. So I'm gonna fry up all of this because, like I said, my sister said she wanted some, so I'm not entirely sure when she's coming over to get some. She said after work. I don't know how long she's working till, so we're not gonna fry all of them. But yeah, this same proportions, even with the gluten-free flour. I think I messed, I think I messed that up, but whatever. Get that nice and battered up. Batter up. I am running out of fry oil. Some of those are touching the bottom. Probably do one more piece. There we go. So we can put this stuff away and that away. Yes, yes, I know. The timer's done. Couple more minutes, and then I think they should be very good. Like 2 more. And then they'll be nice and... I like them falling apart and gooey. Truth be told. Let's get this out of the way. Hope I don't bump something off table with my booty. Flip this. And flip that. And flip that. And that. And that's frying. There we go. One more minute left on those cookies, and then they'll be out. I'm just gonna be twice frying. I don't think I'll bother putting the fish back in the oven to keep them warm while I'm frying it. They should be plenty warm. Knowing me, I'll probably mess up last second and then drop all the fish on the bottom of the pan. All right, let's get this out of the oven. There we go. You beauty. Just let that cool. And that's it in terms of like recipe stuff. We just need to fry this. We'll twice fry the chips. The French fries. And that'll be it. And then after I finish this up, we'll transition to the chatting phase where I'll move over and sit down, and then we can talk while we eat. And then yeah. Oh, get back in there. Got some malt vinegar lined up, of course, the classic for these fries. Chips. I always hope to God that like I'm not like my mic doesn't come unplugged or something, because I am not monitoring the audio mixer while I have like the recipe in front of it. Always with some good looking cookies. Let's see. Not to hate on gluten-free people, but a little sneak peek. That looks much better. I don't know. It's kind of hard to see. I'll show y'all some once we transition to the actual eating phase. Little mukbang for y'all. How are the chips right now? Not terrible. Not terrible. Need salt, of course, and then some vinegar. That'll be good. I've sold you not terrible. Yeah, they could use a second fry. A little quick, crisper upper. So you don't mind me asking, what time zone are you currently in? Are you in the London 6:43 p.m. time zone? Is it meal time for you right now? I feel like time zone's like a good split between where are you from and not where's your house. Pacific Standard. Okay, so it's what? 9? Not 9. Not 9. 11:44. I was going to say almost noon, not 9 for you. Say it's 2:45. Yeah. Almost noon for you. Nearly new. Yes, thank you. I mean, I've been streaming for over a year now. You know, you start figuring out. Okay, let's see. UK's 5 hours ahead, but right now they're four because they haven't done daylight saving shift. But yeah, like an idiot, I was like, okay, 3 hours before now, that's almost noon, and then 3 hours before noon is 9. Anyway, nice and bubbly. It's getting nice and crispy. I never actually seen Rain Man, but yeah, I know the general. I'd let you in on the inner workings of my head, but once you fall in that rabbit hole, you never come out. Feels pretty good. One more flip. They look pretty good. Cause yeah, I remember we used to have like cod at the. I went to Michigan State University. Yeah, they served cod in the dining hall, and like it would just be awful. It was like so rubbery, like literally tasteless. Like I could not taste anything. And it's like that's so bad. How would you manage this? So we'll fry these up again real quick. Unfortunately, I don't have any baskets with the fried calamari is more of a crapshoot. Yeah, I've never. Oh, what was it? My sister got a takoyaki maker and she made some, and I was like, "This ain't it, Chief. This is not it." Because it was like partially cooked on top of it all. What's a classic drink with fish and chips? Because do the Brits drink soda pop as much? I can't. I mean, of course, us Americans, beer. That's true. That's true. Fish and chips and beer. But I will not be drinking the beer because yeah, you go to the pub and drink some beer with it, and it's beer battered. But I will not be drinking the beer with it. I apologize. I'm sorry to say that the beer will most likely go down the drain after this, unless anyone has any brilliant ideas in the household to use it culinarily. Because to me, it's better off wasted. It's less wasted down the drain than down my gullet. All right, so those are crispy. Let's. What am I drinking then? Probably some milk. I'm a big fan of milk. And I'll claim milk and cookies then. So yeah, I feel like fried foods in America, right? It's fast food. You drink some soda. All right, so that's that. Good stuff. I will be taking another break while I shift over to the dining room, and then we'll eat, and chat, and then we'll close out stream. So another little commercial break, but I will be right back. I'm back. Did y'all miss me? So yes, we've got chips. Didn't say. See, some of them didn't. Some of them are crispy. Some of them didn't stay crispy. Like this one, was popping. But that's fine by me. We've got the fish. Ooh, this is crispy. And we've got big old butterscotch cookies. So now is the part of the show where where Carl eats all the stuff and we chat. How are we doing? Did anyone cook along? I don't think anyone has yet. Is anybody inspired to cook along? Does anybody have any ideas for what I should do in the future? Someone suggested sushi, and I want to, but the rice is what's catching me. So, like, should I make the rice from scratch? Should I bother? Should I boil it myself? Because I don't know exactly what goes into making rice. I mean, of course, you got a rice cooker. Throw the rice in, make it. Hmm. Hmm. That's good. That's good. Come on. There we go. Get the money shot here, the food. A liberal dollop of salt. Don't have any tartar sauce. I'm not a fan of tartar sauce. Just like the vinegar on the chips or the fish too. I like that. There we go. That's good stuff. See, if I did a donut stream, I can make up the package at the start, let it rise during. Although, isn't it? I forget. Is it overnight or is it a few hours? I don't know. Not entirely sure. Depending on, you know. So if I let it rise during, or just make it before and let it rise, and then spend the whole time making glaze and frosting and custard and stuff like that, and then at the end I just make the donuts. And then at the eating part, I'll just take one bite out of every single one of them. There is a little bit of a rubberiness with some of the parts of the fish I'm noticing. Like the fish itself is just fine. I wonder if I had located whatever vegetable seasoning is and thrown that in, if that would have helped. Because it was supposed to marinate in that. I still don't know what that is. I couldn't find it in the store. But I made a decent amount, a good portion size. If I messed up the batter on the other one so much, I'm surprised it came out okay. Good stuff. Chips are fine. They're not super soggy. It was good. Some of the fries are crispy and good. Some of the bigger ones got a little soggy. The fish itself was um, the actual breading on it was pretty darn crunchy and good. The fish itself was fine in consistency for the most part. It was a little chewy in some places. It did not have that much of a flavor itself. I'm wondering, since I was unable to find vegetable seasoning and put that in the marinade, if that might have had something to do with it. Not entirely sure. I have not eaten the cookies yet. I have not tried the cookie. Overall, goes very well with the malt vinegar. I think. Good stuff. Whoa. All right. The cookie. Oh, it's like kind of charred on the bottom. Almost. All right, cookie. Look at that. So gooey. Yeah, that's good. I do not regret the double butterscotch at all. Solid with a little bit of crunch to them, but still soft and gooey on the inside. Not completely dry, still a little moist. Although I guess people don't like that word to describe baking anymore. Do I got to describe it like a food critic, like you see in on TV of like the melting the passion of the melting butterscotch melds with the crunch of the outer uh, crust. Blah 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 blah. I can't. I can't. It's a good cookie. Okay. All right, folks. I'm not going to eat this cookie right now. That's too many cookies. That's it for today. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Let's thank you, Britt. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Britt, for the follow. I appreciate it. Everybody, if you are currently watching and you're not following and you are enjoying what you see, feel free to follow to get notified of when I next stream, which would be tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'm finishing up my evil run in Stardew Valley. If you are following and you would like to support the channel or if you would like to check out my other social media, you can do so in the description if you're on desktop, or if you're on mobile, you can type in ! whatever the platform is, and my bot will give you a link. I've got a TikTok, a Twitter, an Instagram, and a YouTube. If you would like to support the channel in ways other than just watching and following, you may feel free to subscribe. It's free if you have Amazon Prime. Info on how to do that in the Discord. In any case, stay safe out there, folks. Get boosted as soon as you're able to if you are not already. If you're not boosted, don't leave your house unless you absolutely need to. But if you do need to leave your house and you're not boosted, make sure you wear a mask, stay at least 6 feet away from other people, and wash your hands often. See you tomorrow, hopefully, everybody. And that's it for today. Bye.